My guess now, and I have to say, I give props to Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, because when I'm a brat on Twitter about I need to talk to you, Lieutenant Governor, I need to ask you a question, I need to talk to you about this. I will say that of all the elected members of government that are out there, Dan Patrick is the one who always says, okay, let's go on the show. Let's talk to voters. We got affiliates across the state and around the country. Lieutenant Governor, it's good to talk with you. Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
Good to be with you, Dana. We're right in the middle of the hearing now, but I want to take some time away. I've been watching all the witnesses for and against, but I want to take time to visit with you.
Yes, and I appreciate that, because I can only imagine what you're getting. If I'm getting flooded with questions about this that I can't answer, yes, I'm sure that you are as well. Tell us exactly what's happening. This is the constitutional carry bill that's in the Senate, but it's struggling to get out of committee to the floor, from what I understand.
No, there's a lot of internet myths out there, as you are well aware, of things that you say or you do that aren't true. So, in fact, last week I formed a brand new committee called Constitutional Issues. And on that committee, there are 7 members, 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats. The 5 Republicans have already either said they support the bill, or they were a co-author of the bill. So the bill will pass out of committee. It will not struggle out of committee. The hearing, I think we have 300 witnesses, so they may not finish until after midnight, but it will be voted out today. I don't know about the 2 Democrats. The 2 Democrats that are on the committee are support concealed carry, which we've had, and pretty much have supported gun rights. I don't know that they'll cross over and vote for this bill, but we'll see.
Right.
One has indicated he's thinking about it, but it will pass out of committee. When this bill came over from the House last week, another internet myth, the Senate was slowing it down. Actually, we put it on the fast track. We've only had the bill, I think, less than 9 days. We have about 400 bills they've sent over here in the last 9 or 10 days, I think. And so we put this pretty much near the top of the pile so we could have a hearing on it and get it to the floor. And when it came over, we have 18 Republicans and there are 13 Democrats. To pass a bill, we need all 18 Republicans to support it, unless I pull a rabbit out of the hat, and I may have a rabbit out of the hat if I don't have 18. So I can't lose a vote. And when it came over, Dana, we had about 6 in favor of it, about 6 against it, and 6 they weren't sure. We're now up to 12 votes, maybe 13. I'm still a few short when we get to the floor, but I'm going to bring it to the floor. Another internet myth that we're not going to bring it to the floor. And it's rare that I do this. Usually, if you don't have the votes for a bill, you don't bring a bill up that's going to lose. But this is an important issue, and we're going to bring it to the floor next week. And I'm optimistic and working to be sure we get those votes to pass it out.
Yeah, we're speaking with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick of the Republic of Texas, because boy, oh boy, as you know, the local media is saying, oh, well, Dan Patrick doesn't think that he's going to be able to get this bill through. And you've really been twisting a lot of arms. I have to say, sir, I do not envy your position, because you're a cat herder. You are herding cats, and you were able to get a lot of big conservative pieces of legislation through. And this is kind of like this is one of the big ones. This is, one of the end all be alls. Do you think that this is going to get the 18 votes needed in order to make it through the Senate to the governor's desk?
So, and thank you for that comment about we've been able to herd cats. We have passed, since I've been Lieutenant Governor, every NRA priority, including open carry, including campus carry. And I think one of the times I was on with you last year during COVID, we talked about red flag laws. On the first day of session, I stood up and said, we're not passing any red flag law bills. So so far we have a straight A record, an 100% passage of the NRA priorities. And I believe that will continue. But Dana, one of the things that I don't do as a lieutenant governor, I don't go out there and bully someone into a must vote. I try to bring them along, find out what their objections are, and bring them together so that they make that decision on their own. Because when a lieutenant governor, and in Texas we're different than any other state, the lieutenant governor is the president of the Senate. Yeah. No bill gets to the floor without me approving it getting to the floor. And I control all the committee chairs. I appoint them, and the committee members like this committee I put together, I handpick them and the chairman. But at the same time, it's better for people to get there and be supportive of it. And I think we're making a lot of progress. And I think we'll be successful. But I don't want to sit here today and say next week, oh, absolutely, we'll pass the bill, because that might actually turn someone who's on the fence who are leaning against it say, oh, I'm not going to let the lieutenant governor tell me how I'm voting, then it looks like I'm following his lead.
Right.
I try to bring them together. And I've been very successful as lieutenant governor. Anytime we've had a vote where I've needed 18 votes, we've always gotten them. Sometimes it takes a while, but I'm going to bring this to the floor next week because we need to move it on.
We have to beat Oklahoma in this. We can't let Oklahoma start. We cannot let them beat
Right.
Texas in constitutional carry. It's too much. I'm tired of hearing these Oklahomans brag about it. I have one other quick thing for you that has to do with CRT, and then I'm going to let you get back to that hearing because I appreciate your time. We're talking to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. I hope that the Republicans that are sitting on the fence realize, because I've studied this, I've looked at every single statistic, every single state that has seen its crime rate fall by 10% or more. These are all constitutional carry states. There has not been the blood in the street that we have been promised from the Bloomberg and Brady groups. It just hasn't happened. So I hope that those Republicans that are hesitant really do understand that and realize that this is a serious group of law-abiding gun owners. We are the only people I know, sir, that train so hard to hone skills that we actually never want to have to use ever.
And by the way, I've been meeting with the NRA and Gun Owners of America the last week several times, and I believe that they'll be supportive of the bill as well. The one thing that I think every gun owner, look, we want every gun owner to be responsible, and we know that gun owners support police. In Texas, we already have concealed carry, about 1.6 million concealed carry holders. You don't need a permit to have a gun in your car, in your business, in your home. You can walk around in your property. The only area that we require a permit is if you want to carry it on the street. And so that's what we're changing. That would be total constitutional carry in the state. But we have a concern with law enforcement. So we've been meeting with law enforcement because they have concerns naturally. Our Republican Party, the NRA, we back the blue. And so what I'm really hoping to get, tweaking the bill a little bit, is actual law enforcement coming on the bill. We've already had testimony from the Sheriff's Association this morning saying that right now they're neutral. And with a tweak or two in the bill, they could come on the bill.
What tweak
the same
would they
thing with the
require?
Houston Police Department. And these are tweaks I think will be acceptable to, never get 100%, but acceptable to 90% or 95% of gun owners. And if we do that, we will then have a model, Dana, really kind of unheard of in the country, of a constitutional carry bill supported by a majority, or at least a lot of law enforcement. And I think that's really important if we can get them there, because we also want to be sure that they're safe. We lose too many law enforcement officers, and this bill that the House passed to us, it doesn't change any laws. We're still, felons can't carry guns. In fact, one of the tweaks, one of the amendments will be, right now, if you're a felon and you carry a gun, which no one wants to have happen, the minimum sentence is only 2 years, and lots of times they get 6 months or nothing. We're going to raise that to 5-year minimum. So if you're a felon and you have a criminal record, you're a felon, serious crime, you're not allowed to carry a gun now under the law. If we catch you, it's going to be a 5-year minimum sentence. We think that will stop some of the gangbangers, which we have a lot of, unfortunately, everywhere, and some of the hardened criminals from wanting to carry. And law enforcement feels good about that. And so I'm hopeful at the end we can get a lot of law enforcement on. We already have individuals. A lot of sheriffs are on board. A lot of constables are on board. But we'd like to get as many as we can. And wouldn't it be a great bill to have the NRA and a lot of law enforcement?
There are a lot of law enforcement that absolutely support constitutional carry. And Lieutenant Governor, I was thinking you may not even have to tweak that much if Texas implemented something like Project Exile, which worked so incredibly well in a few of the states. That was started to get going again. It was a Jeff Sessions idea. It was his baby. And under the Trump administration in the early days, they were pushing that. And that was really going after those repeat offenders that was driving that crime and really making our law enforcement. Unfortunately, those people were the cases. I'm curious about the tweaks, though. Is there any other quick thing that you can tell us about any other tweaks that they're considering?
And by the way, this morning in testimony, Gun Owners of America, their representative said that they would support the mandatory 5 years for violent offenders, and the NRA has indicated they would not have a problem. So those are big steps. What we also want to do is we still want people to be trained. Look, you're a gun owner, I'm a gun owner. We know people should be trained on the law. So right now, it's a $40 cost to get a concealed carry. It used to be $150 or so. We lowered it to $40. So I'm wiping out any cost. So it'll be absolutely free. So people who want a concealed carry, it will cost them nothing. There will be a list of all the laws that you would normally get during the 4-hour course. It will be on our our Department of Public Safety website, our state police, so people can go on there if they want to carry, they don't want a permit, at least they should know the laws. We recommend it to them. So that's one thing we will do. And the others are smaller tweaks. The bill that came out of the House was amended on the floor over there with 6 amendments. So a few of those amendments we felt hurt the bill, but we're going to come out with a strong bill, and I believe we'll pass it because we brought people together, and hopefully it'll be on the governor's desk soon and we'll get it signed.
I like those stronger deterrents for those repeat offenders, and I love also the fee bypassing, because it's always been kind of a class warfare thing as well, to hear some of these blue states that have proposed increasing fees for individuals to make it actually inaccessible for those that really do need access to be able to carry and be a lawful gun owner. Well, I know we're out of time. I know you need to go back and get into that hearing. We'll talk about CRT another time. This was my main focus today, but Lieutenant Governor.
Oh, yes, we passed that bill yesterday. Critical race theory, we passed it out of the Senate yesterday. It's over to the House. All we need is for the House to go with it, and we will have addressed critical race theory in 1619. We've had a pretty good conservative session so far.
That's huge.
And Dana, we're going to bring this bill to the floor middle of next week, or whenever that day is, and I'd be happy to come on with you the day after.
Yes, let's do it.
I think it's going to be a victory, but I take nothing for granted until the votes are cast and I can gavel it down. And so we'll work hard to the finish line.
Smart man. Don't celebrate until that ink's dry.
Nope. Thank you, Dana.
That works. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Appreciate your time today, sir.